This is a road test video for a Honda Civic. It's a 2.2 diesel sport. Car is registered WN07TFF. Mileage at the start of this road test is 66,635 miles. Reason for the road test is we're basically now selling to people from much further afield, all over the sort of near continent, all over the UK. So clearly, if people are willing to invest that time and money, then we want to make sure that before they come, they can know about any kind of issues or otherwise with the vehicle prior than obviously coming to see the car. A little background to this car. This car's actually, we've had it for quite a while, and not because we haven't struggled to sell the vehicle. It's actually been our mechanic's car. We always give them a car to use, and we've just treated him to a Civic Type R. So now the car's going to be made available for sale. But I thought just have a quick drive in it just to show you the car in operation. What I try and do with these road tests is just to go through them in the same sort of order that kind of you would yourself, which is kind of engine, gearbox, clutch, that the usual things you're going to want to check, and just report back on anything I sort of note or feel about the vehicle. So first things first, engine on the car. Obviously this is the 2.2 diesel, starts absolutely on the button. It's very smooth, lovely engine, revs freely. So it's a nice example one. It's not done many miles, so I'd expect it to have plenty of punch still, and it's certainly got that. It pulls very well indeed. Relating to the engine itself, they're very, very economical. You're looking at sort of 50 to the gallons, very, very easy indeed. But as an example of one, I'm just trundling along in 6th gear at 48 miles an hour. It pulls very sweetly, very easily, and so there's no kind of strange noises or otherwise coming from the vehicle. The car actually quite recently, certainly within the last 1,000 miles or so, actually had a new clutch and dual mass flywheel fitted to the vehicle, so that has been done on this particular car, very, very recently indeed. So they're all as you'd expect in fine order. The clutch bites absolutely perfectly, clutch pedals silent, very smooth, and obviously there's no vibrations back through, because the flywheel is completely new. The gear change on the car, classic Honda affair, beautifully engineered gear change, very smooth. It has a feeling, even though it's not directly connected because it uses cables as they all do these days, it still manages to give it a really lovely mechanical feel to the gear change actually. As much as it might be engineered in, it's a really top job Honda done on that. So in essence, the powertrain of the car, the thing, the most important part, I guess, engine, clutch and gearbox, all in very, very fine order indeed. As I drive along at speed, I'm also listening out for kind of, any strange wind noises that might be coming through from the vehicle, suggesting any sort of windscreen seals or window seals that have, perished, and that's all absolutely fine. You can even tell that on a filthy, horrible day like it is today. Steering on the car's got a lovely weight about it, very, very positive indeed. Feels very solid in my hands. The car's got real precision about it. The suspension is exactly as I love on these cars. It's firm, but it gives you this lovely directness. And on roads like these lovely A and B roads, this is ironic. This is now at our new site. These are the kind of roads you'll be driving on road test as well. So they're lovely and quiet. Hardly see a car about. And it makes test driving the vehicles a stress-free affair, especially when a car's new to you. But the car drives really very nicely. It's far from a new car, but they do take their miles very, very well indeed. Brakes on the car, just hit the pedal there, rock solid. It really does. Lovely brakes on the car, so the pedal's right at the top, really nicely modulated brake pedal on the Civics. It's not over servoed, which I absolutely loathe. You know, they've got it exactly right. You know, when you hit the brake pedal on this, I can't detect any kind of vibrations to the pedal, which would suggest, you know, brake pads or discs are you know, in need of changing or distorted. Looking around the car inside, it all seems in very nice order. Actually, he's kept it very nicely. Plastics are all generally, you know, very good. I absolutely love these dashboards on the cars. It really is an absolute work of art. They've gone for a lot of style, but certainly not at the expense of function in this particular vehicle. It's you know, it's just such a nice dashboard to use, beautifully made. But you've got nice big simple radio CD there, so really easy to use. You've got the high up display for your clock and your ventilation system up there, and the radio when it's switched on. All the pixelation on there is very good indeed. Likewise, then you come over to this really lovely twin two-tier dashboard. So as I look ahead on the road I'm driving along, I can still see the speed I'm driving at. I'm not having to sort of crane my neck down to take in the speed of the car. And that's a really very important safety issue on vehicles. But it works brilliantly. It works absolutely fantastically. This is worth about. I mean, these are the roads the car absolutely loves. You know, these changes in direction, which would have, you know, a lot of its competitors, you know, the more softly sprung ones, sort of lolloping around. I mean, they can seem comfortable on, you know, the dead ahead. You know, they'll ride the bumps slightly better than the Civics, but the reality is, when you hit the tight, twisty things, you know, this car hardly rolls, it hardly moves, and it maintains its composure beautifully through the corners. I mean, there's a couple of really tight corners coming up here, which if I was in a Golf or something similar, you know, they would struggle by comparison. This one in particular is a nasty little corner, but this one just takes those corners absolutely beautifully. It really does. But all in all, it drives really, really well. You know, it's you know, it's a relatively cheap but quite low mileage Civic diesel. You know, they're a premium, and it's one that, you know, if you came to drive it, you know, you'd be delighted with it.